In just over 6 months, I turned 60 years old. Ugh. Not quite senior, but certainly approaching the cusp. I certainly didn't expect to celebrate that milestone in the midst of the greatest domestic societal health challenge of my lifetime. I reflect on words my father spoke often to my brothers and me growing up in Pittsburgh. He said, "Today is the youngest you will ever be. Live like it." This was a mindset that escaped me when I began recovery at 46 years old. I sat in the rooms of 12-step and listened to men and women who had 20 and 30 years sober. They had begun their recovery years and decades before me. It honestly depressed me. I wasn't sure if I even had that many years in front of me with all the damage I'd done to my body. It caused intense depression and loneliness. I lamented the loss of a way of life and uncertainty about a projected future free of the bonds of booze and blow. I was terrified at looking myself in the mirror, stripped naked, having to love the person I saw without an expensive but ill-fitting suit of cocaine and booze. Beginning recovery at any age is difficult. It often involves some sort of loss of family, loss of self-respect, and the breaking down of self to ground zero before the slow rebuild begins. Sometimes the loss of freedom. When it happens at a later stage in life, there's a lot more room to engage in looking back at all the destruction. I certainly did that quite a bit in those early days of recovery. I obsessed over the years I'd wasted and convinced that as I might as well have lit a match to them. I felt the shame, regret, and contemplation of the uncertainty and fear of middle-age sober at that time. Starting out, it ripped me apart. I had two successful brothers who I compared myself against and never came out feeling good about. I engaged in the most self-destructive kind of reflection on the past. I call it revisionist recovery, going over every moment of my past and wondering how things would be different if I only had not taken that drink or done that snort. Would I have been a better law student, a better husband, a better brother, a better son, a better lawyer? I eventually realized that it was not going to help my recovery because it boiled my life down to moments in time rather than viewing it as a fluid chain of events that made me the person I am today. Do I have regrets? Sure. I will always regret the collateral damage, but that is what making living amends is about, and doing my best to change the world with acts of kindness. I can't change the past, but I can control how I respond to it and do my best to stay in the present, trying to do the next right thing every day. I had the epiphany that for my recovery to truly move forward, I can no longer obsess about the wasted years, how things could have been different or what I could have done differently in my life if I'd gotten sober earlier. I embrace who I am today. Today is the youngest I will ever be, and I will live like it one day at a time in my recovery. That's what I hope. This next 6 months, I will turn 60. When the time comes, I will embrace the cusp of senior sober, hopefully looking forward with verve and purpose. It will be a wonderful place to be.